While most of the world is distracted by holiday sales and gift hunting, a massive alert from federal emergency officials just hit the wire that most people are completely ignoring. My name is Larry, and I've been living the lifestyle of self-reliance for over a decade. In today's deep dive on ROI sur Vivre, I'm breaking down the 13 essential assets that disaster response experts insist you have in your possession before the first major frost locks down your neighborhood. This isn't about what-if scenarios or movie tropes. This is the raw data from years of real-world catastrophes. Look at the facts. Last year's brutal freezes didn't just bring snow, they crippled the power grid and cut off entire towns from the outside world for days on end. The upcoming climate patterns look like a mirror image of those disasters, and the people who manage our infrastructure are sounding the alarm. You don't need a massive bank account or a mountain bunker to protect your family. You just need a strategic plan and these 13 items, most of which are cheaper than a single trip to the gas station. Let's start with the absolute foundation: hydration, but with a twist you haven't heard. The standard advice is 1 gallon per person for 3 days. That's 12 gallons for a group of 4. But the secret to surviving a freeze is having that liquid on hand before the alerts start flashing on your phone. Back in 2014, I learned a brutal lesson during an Iowa ice storm. I figured I had time to fill my jugs once the storm hit. By the time I turned on the tap, the pressure was gone, and the neighborhood lines were already seizing up. I spent 3 days rationing half of what I actually needed. In winter, water failure happens in a heartbeat. You need it for more than just thirst. You need it to keep the toilets functioning, to clean injuries, and to maintain basic health. When the taps go dry, don't trust old milk cartons. They leak and breed bacteria. Invest in dedicated food-grade containers. I grabbed several 5-gallon units for under $20 each years ago, and they're still perfect. Tuck them away in a dark, cool corner like a basement or a closet to prevent the plastic from breaking down. A pro tip for the Larwa Survivor community: date your containers with a marker and swap the water every 6 months. Use the old stuff for your garden or chores, then refill. It keeps things fresh and ensures your containers haven't degraded. Toss a couple of cases of small bottles in there too for mobility. You can't exactly run with a 50-pound drum. Next up is your pantry shelf: stable food you actually enjoy. This is a major pitfall for most beginners. They buy survival food they can't stand, and then when the stress of a disaster hits, they're forced to eat misery in a can. Aim for a full week of supplies because storms don't follow a 3-day schedule. Focus on high-protein, low-prep items. Canned stews, chili, and tuna are your best friends. Peanut butter is an absolute powerhouse. It's calorie-dense, lasts forever, and requires zero heat. Stock up on granola, dried fruits, and crackers. The rule of thumb: buy what you eat normally, just more of it. If you hate lima beans, don't buy them just because they're cheap. Familiar meals keep your morale high when the world outside is falling apart. Hit the discount stores. You can feed your whole house for a few days on a $20 bill if you shop smart. Just remember to cycle your inventory. Every 6 months, eat the oldest stuff and replace it. It prevents you from opening a can of expired mush when you're actually hungry. And think about cold prep. If your stove is dead, can you eat that meal straight from the tin? It's not a 5-star dinner, but it keeps the engine running. The third item is a $5 tool that is literally the difference between eating and starving: a heavy-duty manual can opener. Without this, your entire food stash is just a collection of very expensive paperweights. It sounds too simple, but emergency workers see people at shelters every year with bags of food they can't even open. Electric models are useless when the grid goes down, and you can't rely on pull tabs being available during a shortage. Get a solid hand-cranked version, not the flimsy plastic ones, and test it today. Once you know it works, keep it exactly where your food is stored so you aren't digging through dark drawers in a crisis. Now let's talk about cooking without a power source. When the lights go out, your kitchen stove is just a metal box. You need a safe way to boil water and heat a meal. Single-burner butane stoves are the gold standard here. They're affordable, portable, and the fuel is easy to store. Sterno cans are another great backup. But here is the life or death rule: never under any circumstances use outdoor gear inside your home. No grills, no camping stoves, and definitely no generators in the living room. Carbon monoxide is a silent, odorless executioner. People die every single winter because they tried to stay warm or cook inside with the wrong equipment. They had the right intentions, but they didn't make it. If you're using fuel, do it on the porch or in a garage with the big door wide open. If you can't do it safely, just eat the food cold. It's better to be chilly and hungry than to not wake up at all. Before we move on, I want to help you simplify this process. I've put together a specialized resource for the L'Arwasior VVIOR family that shows you how to build a 90-day food reserve for just $50. It's a step-by-step blueprint that works even if you're in a tiny apartment. It includes the exact brands to buy 37 overlooked items and how to prep meals with zero power. It's completely free in the description below. I just want you to be ready without going broke. Moving to item 5, heat retention. When the furnace quits, hypothermia becomes your primary enemy, especially for the vulnerable. You need a dedicated warmth kit. This means Mylar space blankets, thick wool socks, and knit beanies to stop heat from escaping your head. Stockpile hand warmers, they're cheap in bulk. And a total game changer inside your gloves. My favorite budget hack: hit the thrift stores. You can find high-quality wool blankets and heavy sweaters for pennies on the dollar compared to buying new. Start layering before you feel the chill. Once your core temp drops, it's a grueling battle to get it back up. Block off unused rooms, hang blankets over your doors to trap heat in one warm room, and use rolled-up towels to stop drafts. Keeping the whole family in one space allows your collective body heat to work for you. Item 6 is your lifeline to the outside world: a battery or hand-cranked NOAA weather radio. When your smartphone dies and the local cell towers are overwhelmed, this is your only way to get updates. Radio waves will cut through when 5G fails. Look for a model that offers multiple power sources: solar, crank, and battery. You need to know if the roads are being cleared or if an evacuation is in progress. Information is the only thing that prevents you from making a fatal blind decision. Test it monthly and keep fresh batteries in a separate bag so they don't leak inside the device. For lighting, skip the candles. FEMA is adamant about this because house fires skyrocket during blackouts. You need at least 2 high-output LED flashlights. They're brighter, tougher, and easier on batteries than the old school bulbs. Headlamps are even better because they keep your hands free to handle tasks or help your kids. Speaking of kids, keep a pack of glow sticks around. They aren't for work, but they provide enough soft light to keep children calm and take the edge off the pitch black environment. Number 8 is medical self-sufficiency. When the snow is too deep for an ambulance, you are the first responder. You need a kit that goes beyond simple bandages. Pack gauze, medical tape, pain relievers, antihistamines, and digestive meds. If anyone uses an inhaler or needs insulin, you need a backup supply. Talk to your physician about an emergency 1-week buffer of your prescriptions. Most will help if you explain your winter prep goals. Keep a hard copy of all dosages and doctor contacts. In case your phone won't turn on, 9th on the list, physical currency. In a digital blackout, your plastic is useless. ATMs won't work and card readers will be down. Keep a couple $100s in small bills, 1s, 5s, and 10s in a waterproof bag. In a crisis, no one is going to give you change. For a $100 bill, having cash hidden in your kit, your car, and your coat ensures you can buy supplies even when the network is dark. Next is your family communication strategy. This is the most ignored piece of the puzzle. You need a contact person who lives in a different state, as long-distance lines often stay up when local ones crash. Pick 2 meeting spots, 1 right outside your front door and 1 in a different neighborhood. Print this plan out and tape it to the fridge and put copies in every car. Practice it until everyone knows it by heart. Don't forget a simple signaling whistle. It's louder than a scream and takes way less energy. If you're trapped or need to find someone in a whiteout, also grab some N95 masks and work gloves. Winter damage can create a lot of airborne debris, and handling sharp, frozen materials will ruin your hands if they aren't protected. Finally, keep your life's paper trail in a portable waterproof container. Insurance, docs, IDs, and medical records. If you have to leave in a hurry, having these allows you to rebuild your life much faster. Use a heavy Ziploc or a small fire-safe box. Securing all 13 of these doesn't happen overnight, but it has to start today. Focus on water, food, and warmth first, then build out the rest. Shop the dollar aisles and the thrift bins. If you grab just 1 or 2 things each week, you'll be fully equipped before the real danger hits. Being a lar way survivre isn't about living in fear, it's about the confidence that comes from being the person who can help others instead of the person waiting for a rescue that might not come. When you're ready, you stay level-headed. You make the right calls. This isn't doomsday talk. It's just being a responsible adult in an unpredictable world. If you found value in this, join the Lara Survivre community by hitting subscribe. I drop practical budget-friendly guides every week to keep you and your family safe. Tell me in the comments which item you're grabbing first, or ask me anything about your specific setup. Stay grounded, stay ready, and remember, you have the power to handle whatever the winter throws your way. Now get that list started. Time is the one thing you can't buy once the storm hits.